Ross Chastain used the wall all the way around this racetrack. Logano has been the class of the field.
Check out the big brain on Brad.
Yeah, I need to change my underwear.
With the Glen in the rear view and Richmond on the horizon, we have 2 Saturday races coming up this week at Richmond, next week at Daytona. So obviously our schedule will adjust. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you smash that subscribe button so you know when our content hits. We will be here twice a week throughout the playoffs. We have 2 weeks left to get us to 1,500 subscribers before the playoffs start. Let me pull up our page here and see where we're at. We're getting close. We still have some work to do for sure. 1389.
Wow, we're slowly marching.
11. If you get us there, that'll be 1,500, and there'll be $100 in your pocket. So let us know. Get on board. Obviously, with football coming, the march out of NASCAR and into football is happening. But we are happy to be here, and we're going to be here through Phoenix. So Brian Twining, the Glen is behind us, and for all intents and purposes, road course racing. The Roval is, I think, its own animal, but technically it's road coursing, I guess. A lot of talk about road courses should happen, shouldn't happen. I appreciate you adding me in Jeff Gluck's messages, so that way all the weirdos got in your messages, and then I was substantial by happenstance getting all these notifications, so that's really fun. But I guess let's start here. We put up a poll as well. I got some votes on there, but I'd love to hear from you guys. Well, what's the ideal amount of road courses, and more importantly, which ones? Because I was trying to do it because Dale Jr. was talking about it too. I think my number is 4, but I think the Glen needs to go. I think it's just, and is it because Gluck was even on the teardown, they were talking about the worst races in his pole history, and 2 of the and I know it's everybody's got their opinion, but
let's just slow down real quick on the look. I know the racing was not great, but I think a lot of that can be attributed to the fact that this was the 4th ass whooping by Shane, so a lot of people probably tuned out.
Yeah.
And outside of guys, again, getting off strategy, this car just doesn't allow for racing.
Yeah.
And look, the same can be said at ovals too. So I don't know why people would all of a sudden be attacking road courses at this rate. Why don't we just get rid of short tracks too? Because the car can't fucking pass at short tracks. We just had a fuel race at Iowa.
It's because it's Shane winning. If it's Kyle Larson dominating like this, or Jeff Gordon or Chase Elliott, no one's going to have the same opinions.
Exactly.
That being said, the Glen, the 2 of the last 3 years that were the lowest in Gluck's poll. Could we get rid of road courses? Yeah.
Let me just go back to the 23 race where it got a crappy rating. Remember that was without stage break cautions. So
that's true.
Look, if people thought this weekend was boring, I would love to see a road course race with no stage breaks and Shane in the field.
Yeah, if it's a stage break free caution, a stage caution break free race, could Shane win by over a minute?
Shane is going to lap the entire field, or he's going to at least lap
80%
cars, and he is going to win by over a minute. I would take the over 100% on that immediately if we got a stage break free road course race.
So my immediate thought is Coda stays, Sonoma stays, a downtown, whether it's Chicago, San Diego, Mexico. Honestly, I'd like to have 2 of them because I think they're really fun. But logistically, the city, the buy-in, all that stuff, there's just not that many places. So one of those, and then the 4th one is I don't love the Roval, but I think I like the Roval better than the Glen.
No, to me, get rid of the Roval. Keep the traditional road courses that we've had on the schedule, Sonoma and Watkins Glen. As you said, give me a street race, and then I think they can go between like Road America and Coda, because I
Road
do kind of
America.
settle in at that 4 spot.
Well, see, that's what I'm trying to figure out too, is because like, do we need an East Coast one, and that means Roval or Glen has to stay? But like, if you want to get rid of both of those and put Road America, and I think I'd enjoy that. I don't know.
I don't know. Look, I think all the discourse about people complaining like, "Hey, this is NASCAR, we go around in circles," and then I heard somebody say like, "Oh, NASCAR is rooted in driving in ovals," when no, the fuck it's not. NASCAR got started with moonshiners running away from cops on streets and roads and in the wilderness, not driving around in circles. So you can save me with that crap. And
You
look,
imagine moonshiners like, no, keep turning left, bro.
yeah,
We'll
exactly.
get there
Exactly.
eventually.
Let's
The cop just
let's
eventually
run
puts it
away
in
from the
park, and
cops in our
here we
neighborhood by
go.
turning left at the same exact spot every single time. Like, get out of here. And look, these guys are supposed to be the top stock car racers in the world, at least in America. So why the hell can't we have even 6? It's only a sixth of the schedule. Look,
Yeah.
I
Well, and then
think
the other question is, if there's going to be 6 on the schedule, shouldn't there at least be one in the playoffs? Or
so they need to be spread out. I think that's
yeah,
what another huge reason why a lot of people are
yeah,
all over road courses right now, is because we had 4 road courses in the matter of like 7 weeks. I think it is 8
yeah,
weeks. And that's way too many in a
yeah.
short amount of time. And to his credit, even Shane, he talked about it. He goes, look, I want to keep him on here, but they need to be spread out. Cause he even said he likes having the break from a road course and going to
Yeah.
different types of tracks, not having them back to back like we had when we did Chicago and Sonoma.
Yeah, I say like one a month, like early part of the season,
Yeah.
Coda, maybe 2 months later,
And
Indy Road, what the Road
one last
America.
complaint from me, like we're talking about all these road course things. If there is any track type that needs to be completely eliminated from the schedule, it's super speedways. Get that shit out of here. There is no racing on there, and
No,
most
but that
drivers will say it's luck.
that's the one that gets the casuals in though, and that's the reason they have it.
But thank you. That to me just proves my point. There's no way they're going to get rid of a track type that rewards skill over luck in road course racing. And I'm sorry, if Shane is just that much better than everybody else, go cry me a river over
If
here on
people
the
stop
side
watching road
about your
courses,
driver not being anywhere near him.
if people stop watching road courses, they'll get rid of it. That's all they care about is the money. And
Well,
for a
and that's the
sport,
thing. And right now, Shane is bringing in viewers from overseas. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
whatever. And it's polarizing.
Yeah, it's if it's a if it's a big topic that have everyone talking and like gets NASCAR to the forefront, that's great. I know it sucks in general, but like if it gets more eyeballs, more viewers, more people talking about it.
I think a very underrated benefit to the road course racing is the way that it opens up a path to the sport for people that would have never traditionally even considered
Yeah.
looking towards NASCAR. And people can cry all they want and say like, oh, he's not good at ovals, but you want diversity in the sport from different backgrounds, from different like skill sets, because then that just makes the sport that much better internationally too.
Yeah. Well, and don't let him get good on ovals, because if he starts figuring out ovals, like good luck.
One more. What? Look, I'm on a good one here. I was on a good one after he won again, because I am the person that I grew up a Yankees fan, so obviously I like dominance. I appreciated the Patriots kicking the shit out of everybody all the time. I loved watching like Tiger Woods' run. Scotty Scheffler is incredible, so I love watching Shane do this. But the fact that he's ran less oval races in his entire life than most of these guys in the Cup Series have done by the time they've even started growing facial hair, to me tells people they need to take a step back and realize like what he's doing right now is quite possibly the most incredible ascension in the sport that we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. All right. Any other big Watkins Glen specific takeaways outside of Shane? Anything that impressed you? Anything that memorable?
Connor Zilic is a friggin' beast. We don't even have to get into him falling.
It's a real shame we didn't get to see him on Sunday. That's all.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, let's review the DraftKings and the betting and all that good stuff, and then we'll jump into this week at Richmond, where we already have bets, which is almost terrifying, to be honest. Let's do this. Let's do this. Share screen. Let us know down in the comments. Do you want more road courses, less road courses, no road courses?
Tell me why I'm a crazy psychopath.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely give Brian the old what for, but let us know, like, if you want less, which ones do you want? Which ones do you think stand out to you? So, obviously Shane was strong. 38 laps led, 18 fastest laps, got the win, 63 points. I mean, I need someone who's smarter than me who can figure out like the points per dollar thing and see if truly spending up made sense, but I think he was pretty damn good and hard to avoid. Byron, strong race from him, top 5 car. Did you ever feel okay? Let's put it this way: who did you think was the second best car? Chris Bell, because he really made a run late, but I don't know if he was.
Yeah, he had a tire advantage. I would probably say Byron, and I said that going into the race. I felt like Byron was the biggest threat to Shane, which obviously it would have only come to fruition if a caution had come out, at the wrong time.
I was really hoping that Keselowski tire issue was going to bring out a caution. We were going to get a chance to race, because that would have been fun. And you know what happens if that happens and we got a race to the finish and Byron's making him do stuff? People are completely different on this race.
Oh, 100%.
But because that caution didn't come out, and that's the thing. Yeah. So Elliott, there was some frustrating guys, and I think there was some issues in like some weird, poorly timed cautions that got things kind of out of order and stuff. But
yeah,
Chase Elliott, really, really underwhelming. Alex Bowman, insanely underwhelming. And Tyrone Gibbs. Some of these guys, they just once they got stuck in traffic, once they ended up in the 20s, they're done. They have nowhere to go.
Well, Tyrone Gibbs, he had a full-on temper tantrum with his team about strategy calls, and it was an interesting listen to hear that radio for sure.
Well, he's running up front, and then all of a sudden he's in the 20s and he's stuck there. And it's like, what happened, guys? It'd be like if Patrick Mahomes was your quarterback and you're throwing all over the defense and you're like, you know what? We're going to establish it and we're just going to hand off and hand off.
Yeah,
and
but
hand
the
off.
difference here though, and I mean, Denny kind of talked about this on his podcast this week.
Yeah, I haven't listened to that this week.
And some people are kind of complaining about this whole thing, is that drivers know you're not going to beat SVG on a road course if you stay the course and you're on the same strategy as him. He has changed the game in that you have to get weird with your strategy.
And we saw drivers getting weird early and
often. Exactly. Perfect example of getting weird was Michael McDowell, who he had some issues on pit road, which ultimately cost him a much better finish than he should have had. But he knew, we got to short pit this thing by even 3 to 4 laps shorter than what the short pitters were doing, because there was no way to compete with him if you were on the same strategy.
Yeah. And ultimately it didn't matter any which way, but it was a frustrating week on DraftKings for sure. Larson, us and about half the field, shit the bed almost immediately and was pretty just in the garage and then on the track. And
of course, he's the fastest lap sniper.
It's very F1 reminiscent. All right, well, we don't have anything going, so let's put fresh tires on. Let's go win.
Yep.
The fastest lap. Tyler Reddick was fine.
Yeah, he was only okay. Although I will say that's actually a good finish for him at a track that isn't his best. So for him to kind of be a top 10 car late, worked out in his favor for sure.
Especially with SVG winning, where it seems like more and more likely that he's probably going to get one of the playoff spots remaining. Locking up those points was huge.
Outside of two DFLs here in the last 2 races, I think Reddick's pretty safe.
Yeah, because there's one person's going to get in on points for sure, and then even if we get 2 winners, right?
Yeah, because and Reddick is like 176 or something like that above the cut line. So,
and we'll have to pay attention to those futures markets because we were talking a bit. What was it yesterday? I don't even remember. It's all blur at this point. But like maybe it was today. Just like the market's been gross and like nothing's really moving, and we're really hoping we get some values. But I don't know. We may bet on some guys that we think can make some noise, and then all of a sudden they're not winning those races and not getting into the final 4, and then we're just pissing down our leg. All right, SVG, obviously Larson stunk, Ty Gibbs stunk, the Gill gang stunk, Gregson stunk. Oh, I did make some pivots off. This was our
that had Zilich.
This had our Zilich lineup, so I kind of tweaked it a little bit. Yeah,
that was sad, man. When I saw, obviously I was on the way to a bachelor party, but when I at first I thought it was a joke that he fell, but then when I watched the video, I said, "There's no way this dude's racing tomorrow."
Yeah. Betting card though, we both put SVG on there at plus money. When we talked Saturday night, he was minus money to win the race. So that was good for us. Got us.
By the way, this is the last time that I think we're going to see Shane at plus money at a road course.
Yeah, I feel like he opens up at even maybe.
Yeah.
With Zilich in the field, I think it'll be interesting though. But we'll need. I think what happens is he's minus money at Coda, and then if Zilich really is a factor, then he's like plus 110 or something.
I was gonna say, yeah. What do they give us, like 1.25 max? That's.
I can smell a lot of Shane SVG Scotty Scheffler parlays in my future.
Yeah.
And then obviously had Bowman over KFB. Added a bunch of Tyrone Gibbs. I was feeling great about that for a while, and then I didn't as much. And then Alex Bowman was just like a non-factor. It was for his lack of left turns. There was a lot of conveyor belt. And obviously you got it in good with SVG and Briscoe. Reddick did not win, of course. Shocker of all shockers. But I
did add that Larson over Briscoe stage 1.
Yeah.
Couldn't even see it come through. But the whole reason why I played that was I figured guys up front were going to flip the stage. Larson starting so far back, I thought he would have just ran the stage out.
Yeah, the game theory was there. He just didn't need to crash his car right away, and then he would have been in position. So somehow made a little bit of money on this race. So I'm up 20 units, which feels really good. Really want to get to the finish line in the green. Hopefully you made up some ground, so hopefully you can keep plugging away at that, and we're both in the green at the end of the season. Any other Glenn takeaways, thoughts, any bets you did or didn't make that you wish you had or hadn't? Any other in general?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any other bets or anything. I will say I was surprised at the pace that Blaney had early on, and that he was able to kind of stay near the front, something that he's never really done at Watkins Glen. So yeah,
not only to put it on the pole, but to actually be good on Sunday, at least for a while.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk Richmond. Bell 350, Hamlin 375, Larson 8, Byron 9, Logano 10. Interesting pricing for sure. Pulling up Action Network just to see if there's should Bell be this short? Obviously he's had some momentum for sure. But mostly on road courses. And then Denny, I mean, I get it, but like, I don't know. It feels
these numbers are way too short for openers. I know the books have kind of adjusted. We've talked about this. You're probably sick of hearing this, but the books have gotten tighter at the top this year in particular, and the fact that we're opening with 2 guys shorter than 4, I only at Caesars right now, because you can get 4 and 4.5 flip flop these guys at a few places. But yeah, this is just disgusting. I'm not playing that before we know what these guys are going to look like in practice, especially when we're coming here and we're racing the same tire that we did at Martinsville, where we saw a bunch of guys going 2 tire strategies. Obviously, maybe that was because it was cold. I know Richmond's supposed to eat tires more than other places, but who the F knows what's actually going to happen with the rubber this weekend. And if we're stuck in another situation where fall off isn't as great as what they expected, you're going to start seeing dudes get crazy with their tire strategy and short pitting and all this other stuff. So yeah, I'm not getting involved at the top at all this week.
Logano.
Okay. Let's go back to Iowa. I think it's fair to say most people in the community were looking at Logano as a guy who presented value, was probably going to be good, and he sucked. He was not anywhere close to what we thought he was going to be. Logano traditionally is awesome here at Richmond. But there is no effing way that I'm going to play him at a shorter number than the guy who's been showing up faster, and not by a little bit, at almost every single track this week in Ryan Blaney, despite Blaney's past history at Richmond being ass. I'm sorry. We talked about Blaney earlier this year. You can pay. I said it. I'm throwing out everything that I've seen out of the 12 prior to this season, because he's been fast at places that we never expected it. Darlington, one of his worst tracks, he was incredible. Watkins Glen, I know it's a road course. What did he do there? So I just don't understand why we're just looking at the same dudes when we don't know what the hell Logano is going to have anyways. He's all strategy-based speed this year and last year.
But my only thing is he's a live target if you can bet live.
Exactly.
This could be another Iowa where it's a fuel mileage race, and we're just waiting to see who can maintain. And he's one of the guys that's on my short list. If I can get 20-25 on him at some point in the race, I'll probably take some of that. But yeah, 10 is too short.
Yeah.
Briscoe, Blaney, Elliott, Keselowski, and then we get into the 20. So I'm betting Chase Briscoe this week. You can get him at 16 at
DK.
DraftKings, which I am taking. I would take him at 14. I would not take him at 12. There's enough other numbers in market to not bet the 12. If you can only bet at Caesars and you really want to ride, like, okay.
He's probably going to be starting on the front row again. I mean, this is a guy, he's got a cheater car on.
Yep. And then if he starts on the front row and he goes to 8 or 9 and you want to wait until that happens, totally get it. I'm grabbing 16 and I'm riding it. Truex was great here. That 19 car has been great here. He was really, really good here with SHR.
Qualified on the front row last fall.
It just all points to Briscoe. Yeah. And maybe he doesn't get the job done. But I feel like the number is better, which is so it's interesting, Brian, because we talked before the season with Worm about
we did
19 and Chase Briscoe and what we really need to see. And like, I think he's even exceeded what like we kind of set out. Like we're like, it's not about winning just a race. It's about being
competitiveness.
Yeah, and dudes just like pull in races, in road courses, in ovals, in short tracks, in intermediates.
And I think it's also extremely important to look at the schedule in a segment point of view. Like the first maybe 2 months of the year, the first like 6 to 8 races, he was still getting adjusted to his new team. And since that time,
new car, new team, new seat,
you'd be hard pressed to find somebody that's performing as consistently in terms of speed than the 19 team since he's gotten more comfortable in this car. And it's fair to say, like, if his last name wasn't what it was, Ty Gibbs would probably be getting the boot, and it probably would have already happened, and we'd already have a silly season announcement on a guy taking over the 54 car.
No, I don't agree with that.
He came in. Had he not come into the Cup Series with as much hype as he did, I think it would be easier to make the call. But the fact that he's disappointed on a level of this magnitude to where he's only been competitive to win a race, maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, I mean, he's been competitive in all the road courses, so I think.
Hold on a second. Wait. Are we going to now say that that matters though? Like,
what do you mean? You just said
if we're talking about being
you
competitive,
said he hasn't been competitive,
and
I said he's been competitive on all the road courses. I literally used your words.
No, I know, but okay. The thing about Gibbs is he's been competitive, but in such short spurts or at such an inconsistent level. I think you could put anybody in that car and they might be able to pop at the same frequency that he does. I would
saying things like I think and might.
I would go out on the limb and say if Eric Jones was in the 54, that car probably has a win the last 2 years.
Yeah, but if I leave Ty Gibbs in there and I have Eric Jones in there for the next 5 years, who wins more races?
Probably Eric Jones.
Are you if you're the 54?
I am not a Ty Gibbs guy. That's
clearly. If you were the 54, are you taking Ty Gibbs out and putting Eric Jones in?
I mean, if his name wasn't Gibbs, then probably yeah.
No, but if you're running the team, yes, you're not.
Yeah.
I think that's silly. See, now I'm gonna have to like battle you against Chase Briscoe, who I've loved this season. Where's Ty Gibbs?
But yeah, I put it on the card. It was the first bet I made this week. It was Chase Briscoe 14 at Superbook, and I think a lot of that is because of the fact that he's going to qualify up high. The 19 car has been really good here at Richmond. Briscoe is performing at a level that we never really saw with SHR, which to me says that I can kind of look at his past history and discount it at a pretty significant rate, because this is not a place that he's been super competitive at either in the past.
Yeah. I mean, Briscoe has 9 top 10s in his last 13 races. 1, 2, 3, 4 top 5s in his last 5 races. You want to take a shot at what race I bet him at and what race he didn't do well at? Because I guarantee you it's the one where he didn't get a top 5. I bet him in Indy. He got 18th. At the Glen and at Iowa, 5th and 2nd. And before that at Dover, 2nd. At Sonoma, 2nd. So just fade Chase Briscoe this week, apparently.
He is still 18 as of this recording at one of our offshores that we go to.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, so we both have Briscoe on the card, so fade him at your peril. Blaney, Elliott, Brad K, Kyle Busch, Chris Buescher, Tyler Reddick.
The Reddick numbers are starting to get damn big.
Yeah, they're getting to where they should be.
Yeah, and that's the hard part, is like looking at that and not saying, "Oh man, that's."
I mean, we could have the same Tyler Reddick, Ty Gibbs discussion. Like
Tyler Reddick, slow down. Tyler Reddick is still like 7th or 8th in the regular season points. He's still like a very competitive car on a consistent basis. But I do agree that him winning a race at this point is going to be a shocker.
Yeah. Which he's going to basically have to do what Bell did in the playoffs, where he just wins like 3 races in order to get to the championship.
Yeah, he's gonna have to win the elimination events.
Um,
His only problem is that he sucks at Martinsville, which kills him in the round of 8.
yeah, I mean, like, I know we're kind of getting sidetracked here, and we probably should get back to work as it's almost 9 o'clock here out on the West Coast. But like, playoff start, you have Darlington,
Good there.
Gateway, and Bristol.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we have Gateway too.
He should advance to the round of 12.
And then, but then it's New Hampshire. He has to win Kansas, basically, right? Or maybe the Roval. I mean, it's gonna be hard to beat Shane there. I think.
I was just gonna say, at this point, I don't think anybody's gonna beat the 88.
He probably needs to be. He probably needs to win Kansas.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think he's gonna have to win because he's gonna go into the playoffs.
So he has to win in the round of 8, though.
Yeah, he would probably have to win in the round of 8.
And is he gonna win Vegas?
See, that's a place where he probably could.
Yeah, he probably needs to win Dega, honestly, and that's just a cold cluster F. I think this year, like we might want to look at the like to make the final 4 bets, because I think we could get some wonky like a wonky final 4.
Well, a lot of those numbers have already been kind of baked. Like I know I've heard some people talking about Shane was 25-1 at some point earlier, which even that number to me isn't really long enough.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I guess I could just do it here. Let's pull it up. But like, I mean, we have Vegas, Dega, and Martinsville to make the championship. Let's see if they have
perfect storm for the round of 8 is Logano repeats at Vegas.
Yeah.
Shane wins Talladega, and then it's going to be absolute mind effing chaos on traditional NASCAR fans when Logano is back in the championship race. Shane has made the championship 4, and then it's going to be between Denny, Bell, Larson, Elliott, and probably Byron fighting for 2 spots out of the 5
But
guys.
you could tell me like Alex Bowman wins Vegas, Ross Chastain wins Talladega, Ryan Blaney.
That would be assuming they both made it to that round.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, that's the hard part, is trying to forecast who's going to get through to there.
That's fair. That's probably fair.
Look, we didn't even mention his name, but
I mean, it
Bubba
could be
Wallace
Logano, Briscoe.
Bubba Wallace is no snoozer here as we enter the playoffs.
Well, and if he gets to the round of 8, he can win at Vegas and Dega for sure.
100%.
Yeah. So let's get Bubba in the final 4. Let's get
look, Bubba,
Logano,
SVG,
Logano, and Chase Briscoe. That's your final 4.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. That'd be the greatest final 4 of all time.
Let's talk through the rest of these numbers. All right. So is there anyone else from an outright perspective you like this week?
Okay. It's a little bit of a homerish talking. Bubba Wallace, I wanted 40. The longest you can get is 35. Caesars, I think FanDuel has 35, but really good at Richmond last year. Really good at Martinsville this year. Really good at what the hell is that place? North Wilkesboro earlier this year. Same tire code. He's riding free. Just came home with a top 10 at friggin' Watkins Glen, a place that he's never been good at, and he's admittedly said he stinks at road courses. Like, this car has tons of speed in it. We saw what he did at Indy with pressure.
Which is a little concerning for how bad Tyler Reddick's been. The fact that Bubba Wallace,
and that's what I was just going to say, is like, it's crazy that I'm at a point here, and I think a lot of other people probably are, where I would rather bet Bubba Wallace to win a race than Tyler Reddick.
Yeah. And yet Bubba Wallace is a longer number each and every week. Interesting how that works. Interesting how that works. All right. What about top threes, top fives? We can look at the top 10 market. Is there any longer shots to be interesting that you want to either get on the card or like add to the Briscoe exposure, add some Bubba Wallace?
So I do like Bubba Wallace top 10. Forget where it was. So I played it at 365. It was plus 160 when I played it. But I don't know if that's still available.
You probably moved it. I'll check right now.
But yeah, so I do like Bubba to top 10 this week. I think that's a decent number. It opened at 2, which I would have been all over, but I couldn't get to it fast enough.
Yeah, it's still plus 160 if you want some of that.
Yeah, 365. Yeah, I like that. And then I also like his top 5 number. You can get 5-1 at both FanDuel and 365.
Yeah.
Because he's going out late in qualifying. This car's been really fast. If he can qualify inside the top 10 and probably stay there all day.
Yeah. Top Toyota probably isn't a market to get involved in this week, right? With Bell and Ellie or Bell and Hamlin there.
Yeah, that's like you're splitting hairs there. I'm not playing either side of the 20 or the 11.
The other question I had for you, I'm guessing it's Briscoe's number 275. Do you have any interest in let's see, JGR to win? The fact that you're getting both Denny, Bell, and Briscoe.
Yeah, Gibbs doesn't even count in this conversation. It's got to be larger than plus 110. The longest I've seen is plus 130, and that's in Vegas, and that's something I would consider. But it's hard to get down. I don't know. It's difficult because I do think that both Bubba and Reddick, they could both pop on Friday.
So you'd rather just bet top Toyota to win rather than...
So like I would almost rather try to shop Toyota and play that at plus 110. Manufacturers there.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah,
yeah. See, like it's the same number.
That is dumb. That's really, really dumb.
Welcome to 2025 and NASCAR odds making. But yeah, I would rather play Toyota at plus $1.10 and then cherry pick a couple of guys outside of that.
So we should probably be doing the full tank with Phil strategy where we just get in on Toyota, and then when practice and qualifying ends, or if there's like a number you really like, jump on that and call it a day.
The hard part with that, though, is like when you see plus 110, I mean, you're talking like a top 10 number. To get paid out like an outright, you got to go very heavy on that. Or that's the only outright you play that week.
And then like Larson or something stupid wins, and then it screws
and it doesn't leave you many outs. That's the hard part there.
Ryan Blaney, top 4, 250. Josh Berry, 7. Ryan Priest, 10.
Yeah, see, I think there's a couple of guys that could show up with some speed. I think Austin Cindric is somebody to kind of keep an eye on this week. His numbers are very long. He's 100-1 in some places to win the race.
Talk about a guy that's in the seat because of his last name.
Yeah, no shit. Like, but he's had speed at times this year, and his numbers are priced where they should be, unlike Gibbs. And so I think there's still value on the two right now.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the win the race tools to see if there's anyone jumping off. Priest is a decent value, not insane. Outside of that, there's not much. Top Chevy, anything? Or is it just?
I mean, if Austin Dillon wasn't priced like a actual racer, I might be interested in like the McDowell 70-1 number.
Can we find an offshore that's giving us like Austin Dillon to right hook somebody? Yes, no.
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, they're pricing it accordingly because this is one of Dylan's better tracks, and RCR in general has shown up pretty well here. So
Yeah, and he's been a little bit more competitive of late than I expected to see. So
yeah, I think RCR has actually had more speed than
yet
what.
another guy who's swimming along because of his last name. Match bets: Larson versus Logano, Bell versus Hamlin. You can get Bell as a favorite if you want to like grind some edges and get yourself some change. I think you could bet both of them. Blaney over Chase, Chastain over Barry, Reddick over Keselowski. Anything
Okay.
jumping out to you?
So Reddick over Keselowski is plus 120 at Bet365 right now. That is going on the card. I understand people are looking at Iowa as a direct correlation here, which completely different tire. So we don't know what we're going to have here than what we saw at Iowa, where Keselowski was probably the best car in my opinion. But Reddick's been very solid here at Richmond. He's going to qualify later than Brad. He's routinely had better speed than Brad on Fridays. This number is probably going to get closer to even or minus 110 both ways before Saturday night. So, yeah, I'm going to take the plus money with Reddick. I think he's going to be good. And then I think Brad will have a little bit harder time moving through the field as he's probably going to be starting much further back.
Okay, so a couple names you mentioned if you want to get some value in matchups. Bubba Wallace over Kyle Busch, you can get minus 105. You can get Austin Dillon plus 120 against Josh Berry if you want some Austin Dillon. And you can get Ryan Blaney plus 110 against Joey Logs.
Man, I might play that just out of principle.
That's what I'm saying.
What was that? Austin Dillon versus
Austin Dillon
Barry?
plus 120 versus Josh Berry. And I guess we can pull it up on the Sims and see if it's truly popping.
I just worry about Dillon's like qualifying.
Sure. Plus, like Josh Berry is starting like third. Like, yeah, it says Dillon should be plus 155. So do it that way you will. One of the benefits of win the race, you obviously don't.
Who should be 165?
Austin Dillon should be plus 155.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, you don't have to use it as gospel, but it is a good like. Am I actually thinking through this? Do I need to double check, make sure? We go against it sometimes because we think we have it. So
it's definitely a good guide to help you.
Yeah. I don't know. Is there much else? I'm looking to see if BetMGM has any head-to-heads or anything else.
MGM's numbers are shit this week.
Yeah, I mean, most weeks that makes sense, but
they're probably the worst book when it comes to lines.
Yeah.
I mean,
sometimes you can find a few things popping, but yeah, it's usually not great. NASCAR. Let's see.
And yet, just as a reminder, as Kyle searches for these Cup practice and qualifying is Friday. I guess it's dinner time for most folks that are watching this probably on the East Coast. It's like mid-afternoon for us out here on the West, like 2 and 3 o'clock for practice and qualifying. Awesome, as I work from home, so that's incredible. And then the race, I believe, is at 6 p.m. Eastern on Saturday.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Perfect little Saturday night. Sit back, have a drink, have some ice cream. Yeah, I'm an old man. I like my ice cream.
Well, it says 4:30.
Oh, so 7:30.
Yeah, 7:30.
Woo, baby.
Almost 8. Yeah. Minus 190. Larson plus 130. Bell minus 185. Byron plus 125. Yeah. No, the lines kind of stink. They kind of stink, baby. So right now I only have one bet, and it is Chase Briscoe to win, 16-1. Brian has Briscoe. He has Bubba. He has Reddick over Keselowski and Bubba top 10. I'll scrounge looking for something. I'm sure I'll add something between now and practice and qualifying, but the Friday qual, and I don't know, man. Let us know down in the comments. Who are you betting this week? Anybody jumping out to you? Any numbers you found? As you're watching this, hopefully there's a few more markets. Hopefully the lines have shifted a little bit. I don't love anything.
Yeah, there's not a ton this week, that's for sure.
Like, is there anyone you feel confident? Like, I think Bubba, there's potential opportunity. I like Briscoe. I'm tempted to unload on either Toyota or JGR, but like you said, I don't know.
I do think that Toyota is definitely the lean because it gets you both Bell and Hamlin, and you get Briscoe.
Yeah, especially if you're getting basically the same number or the same number. Like,
yeah,
if I get more cars and I can still bet plus 110, like that's crazy.
I was just gonna say, and look, we talked shit about him, but if Reddick wins here, it's going to be a surprise, but it's also not going to be one of those like out of nowhere type of wins because he's competed up front numerous times. It's just he hasn't been able to get it done, and it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever if they both show up with speed.
Same with Ty Gibbs. If he competes up front and gets a win, no one will be surprised. Shocked, maybe. Surprised, no.
That will mean the end of this track type. If Ty Gibbs wins, that means that we need to reassess what's going on here.
Get to the front. Hold on to your gas tanks.
Oh my God.
All right, Brian. I think we'll call it there. Like I said, let us know down in the comments. Anyone jumping out to you? Anything interesting? Any bets you really clamoring to make? I'm interested to see what the boys over at the draft say tomorrow. Make sure you check that out. If you're watching this, it's a live stream. The chat is popping. They draft a driver from each team. They have a competition and they do a charitable giveaway. Check out Win the Race, $30 a month for through the end of the year. Amazing deal. That's Brian Twining. I'm Kyle Robert. Once again, we'll record Friday night in your feed Saturday morning, race Saturday. So you have all day Saturday to catch up. Get ready for the race. Worm took the week off, which is interesting, but he's back, I think, for the poll, I'm guessing, on Saturday. We'll have our newsletter up, aoppodcast.substack.com. Once again, aoppodcast.substack.com. Bets, grid rival targets, DraftKings thoughts, all that good stuff. That's Brian Twining. I'm Kyle Robert. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll talk to you Saturday morning.